Update: EM thinks 15 meters is too far for her precious child to walk. Unfortunately for me, I don't know how to tag the last post here, but some of you may remember a few days ago, the EM who tried to park in my driveway then demanded to know if my partner was a bloke. Yeah, it went further. So, about 2.5 to 3 hours after that episode, my partner was home and showered, and I had received a Mayday call from my stepfather. He had organized a surprise birthday for my ma and thought he was just the most clever little chap until he realized something. He had organized with her work to have her on the roster, but actually have the weekend off, and that was actually about it. He couldn't find half the people's numbers he wanted to invite, didn't even think about food. And if he had so much as looked at the vacuum to clean, Ma would have known in a heartbeat. So me to the rescue, and we left to drive up there because she wouldn't blink an eye at me cleaning or organizing food. When we got back 2 days later, there was a notice on the door from police, stating they had been around twice to speak to the woman at this address and to please contact them ASAP, which I did. Turns out the EM had called the cops, but because it wasn't an emergency, it took them a few hours to turn up, and we'd left by then. So I called and they organized someone to drop around the next day to speak to me. When they got here, JFC, this lady went above and beyond to lie about everything. She told them I came out screaming, threatening her and her child, and her car, and probably her non-existent dog too, why not? That I scared her precious kid with animal skulls, and had threatened that my female partner would beat her up when she got home from work. Honestly, guys, I was laughing by halfway through. I told them my side, showed them my partner, who is not a girl, and asked if I was going to threaten her with anything, it would be a machete, not a breakable and precious skull. Then the real breakthrough happens. I have well-meaning, but batshit crazy neighbors on the other side, and Mrs. Bat called over the fence to ask if the cops were here because of that weirdo yelling woman the other day. I said yes, and she goes, "Oh, do they need to see a video?" Like what? What video? Are there cameras on your house I don't know about? No, actually. She was filming her newly arranged plants on her deck to send to her daughter, when the crazy lady went off, so she swung her phone about and recorded us instead. Thank you, Bat Lady. The cops saw everything was exactly as I said it. There were no bones involved, and the CM had issues. She, as far as I know, will be charged with making a false statement, harassment, and wasting police time. She has also been told to stay the hell away from my property and myself, and if she wants to keep going with this, the whole thing was filmed, so knock it TF off. I'm still laughing and probably will be for the foreseeable future. The neighbors she visited came over to apologize for their friend, and gave me a little banana cake which my partner ate the lot in about 0.2 seconds. Not a bad ending all up, I'd say.
Let my kid ride your horse. This story goes back about 25 years. I was in college and showing horses. I was dating a guy whose family was a little too close, like they went everywhere together. If I had a local horse show, they would sometimes come to watch. When I was done, I would sometimes let his little sister walk around on the horse for a few minutes while I led him. He was pretty chill and safe for her to do so. However, at one show I was campaigning someone else's horse, and he was not safe for a glorified pony ride. He was big, powerful, and spooked easily. Not to mention the kid was chonky, and I had all I could do to get her on the smaller horse I would normally show. Besides, I didn't have permission from the horse's owner. I had even told my boyfriend this ahead of time, and that I was going to be busier at this show and it would be best if they didn't come this time. When they showed up anyhow, I was annoyed. When I was done showing and I started to untack the horse, the dad and I had the following exchange. "Dad, aren't you going to let my angel go for a ride?" "Me, I'm sorry, not this time. He's not safe for her." "Dad, he seems fine to me. I just watched you ride him." "Me, yes, I can handle him, but I've been riding since I was 3 and have ridden much worse. Besides, I don't have his owner's permission." "Dad, well, why didn't you get her permission?" "Me, because he's not safe for her and I would never put her in danger like that." They ended up leaving, all passed off. Oh, but it doesn't end there. The next day his mother called mine to tell on me. That's right, we were both 20, and his mommy called my mommy to tattle. My mother basically told her, "If Op says it's not safe, it's not safe. Her decision is final when it comes to horses."
Sorry, but I'm not letting your child watch Netflix on my phone. So last week I, 15F, had an orthodontist appointment, and I was waiting for my name to get called, so I decided to watch some Netflix while I was waiting. I started watching Schitt's Creek, and a few minutes later I noticed this middle-aged lady with blonde frizzy hair just looking at me in this weird way. Sitting next to her was a boy who looked about 11 years old and a girl who looked around 4 years old. I kind of looked up at them, but she again gave me this weird smile. She should have been wearing a mask as they are required in the waiting room. Then this lady was like, "Kids, go along and see what the girl is doing with her phone." I was really weirded out, but of course I didn't do anything. Kids got close, like less than a foot. Neither were wearing masks. And I was uncomfortable, so I was like, "Can you please tell your kids to back off? They are way too close." Then the kids just got closer and started staring at my phone screen. At that point, I was so annoyed, I just turned off my phone thinking they'd go away. No. The mom yelled, "Let my kids watch a show," and said no, I didn't want them to because it was my phone. She did not like this, so she walked over to me, grabbed my phone from my hand, and started demanding the password, which of course I did not tell her. At that point, my name was called, and I left the waiting room to go get my braces. I just did. About 15 minutes later, the 11-year-old came and sat down on the orthodontist chair next to me. He'd had braces, and he actually apologized about his mom. Honestly, I was surprised. Anyways, that's my intended parents story.
Check out my other splendid videos.